This is the power of Jesus. Welcome.
Kevin is 44, a hard-working father who carries the weight of his home. Long hours, little rest, but love keeps him going. One evening, a burning pain rises in his chest. He tells himself it's nothing, but something inside whispers otherwise. At the clinic, the doctor waves it off as minor. Kevin nods politely, yet leaves with unease, tightening his chest. Days turn into weeks. Calendar pages flip. The pain deepens at work, at dinner, in bed. Time moves, but healing doesn't. He hides it at home, forcing smiles for his children, pressing his hand against his stomach so they won't see the truth. But one night, it's too much. He doubles over in agony, sweat on his brow, breath uneven, his wife watching, terrified. Fear takes over. The hospital corridor feels endless, each step heavier than the last. Uncertainty echoes in every fluorescent light. He signs the papers, hands trembling, heart pounding. The ink smears slightly, as if marking the moment. Everything changes. The room is quiet. The doctor's eyes are heavy. He clears his throat and says the words that change everything. "You have a tumor." Silence freezes the air. Time stops. Kevin's heart sinks into his chest. The doctor keeps speaking. Words like aggressive and spread echo faintly, but Kevin hears only one thing, his world collapsing inside. He stares at the glowing screen, cold light outlining his future. Images, charts, lines of shadow and light, and somewhere in that scan, death has a name. The chart on the desk shows arrows, red marks, spreading outward. It feels like watching time run out. Each mark, stolen breath. Kevin sits alone, hands gripping his knees, the silence louder than any scream. It's as if the floor itself gives way. He lifts a photo of his children. Their smiles blur through his tears. He whispers their names, praying they'll remember his love. His voice breaks. "Am I going to die?" No one answers, only the hum of hospital lights. He wipes his face, trembling, whispers again, "It's over for me." The words hang heavy in the air, and the darkness closes in. Days pass in silence. Curtains stay closed. Light fades, and time stands still. Kevin barely moves, trapped in thought. At dinner, he sits apart. His family's voices blur into echoes. They speak, they laugh, but he is no longer there. He stares ahead, eyes empty, heart distant. Children's laughter drifts from another room, but it no longer reaches him. A plate sits untouched. Steam fades into cold air. He watches it quietly. Even hunger has left him. Nights are endless. The clock reads 3 a.m. His wife sleeps beside him, but peace never comes. He sits hunched in the dark, hands covering his face. The weight on his chest feels heavier than his own body. In the mirror, he sees a stranger staring back, pale, trembling, afraid. He whispers, "I don't know who I am anymore." Shadows creep across the room, curling around his body like smoke. Despair tightens its grip, and hope begins to fade. Kevin stands at the edge of darkness, a doorway before him, and nothing beyond. He hesitates, lost between fear and surrender. Then a faint light flickers behind him. He joins a support group. Faces lined with pain fill the circle. Each story feels the same, a quiet war against despair. Then he meets Robert, 60 years old. Strong eyes, calm voice. There's something different about him, peace, where others carry fear. Robert once lay in a hospital bed, weak, trembling, unsure if he'd make it, but he says softly, "I was never alone." He gestures toward a doctor's coat. "Medicine helped," he says, then touches the cross on his chest. "But Jesus healed me." As he speaks, a golden light seems to surround him. It's not dramatic, just real, like truth breaking through the air. The group listens. Kevin watches, unmoving. Every word feels personal, like hope calling him by name. Robert looks straight at him. "You are not defeated," he says. The words cut through the silence, and something in Kevin's heart begins to stir. Robert places his hand on Kevin's shoulder, firm, steady, kind. In the background, a faint cross glows softly. Doctors treat, but Jesus heals. Kevin walks out of the building at dusk. Tears stream down his face. But this time, they're tears of hope. The sky glows orange and purple, and for the first time, he feels light again. He sits alone on a park bench, breathing slowly, looking up. The air is still, the world quiet, and he knows he's not alone anymore. That night, he kneels beside his bed. His voice trembles. "Jesus, help me." In the silence, peace enters his heart. It's the first time he feels alive again. The fear fades, and a calm, gentle light touches his face. He can breathe, and for a moment, the night doesn't feel so dark. Days pass. He takes each pill, each appointment, as an act of faith. He no longer sees treatment as survival, but as obedience, trusting God through every step. Calendar pages turn, hospitals, waiting rooms, whispered prayers. His body weakens, but his spirit grows stronger. Faith becomes his medicine. He walks taller now, shoulders steady, eyes clear. A quiet strength surrounds him, and golden light follows his steps. At home, laughter returns. His children's voices fill the air. He smiles, fragile but real, as warmth replaces the cold that once lived inside. And somewhere deep within, a small flame begins to glow. It's faint, but steady. Faith has come alive. Hospital corridors no longer scare him. The same walls that once felt cold now echo with quiet courage. Each step becomes an act of faith. He bows his head before every session. The needle, the IV, the medicine, they no longer mean fear. They mean surrender and trust. Around him, doctors and nurses move with care. To Kevin, they are no longer strangers, but instruments in God's hands. He feels heaven working through them. In the silence of his room, he is not alone. A soft light stands beside his bed, Jesus watching over him through the night. At home, his children see the change. Their father smiles again. Calm, brave, steady. They see strength where fear once lived. Hope has returned to their home. His wife watches quietly. Tears of joy fill her eyes. For the first time in months, she sees peace shining in his face. He opens his Bible in the hospital bed. Each verse feels alive, like God whispering strength between the pages of pain. There are moments of pain, but even then, a golden light surrounds him. The body weakens, but faith refuses to fall. Above the hospital, the storm begins to break. Light pierces through the clouds, and hope shines brighter than fear. Months pass. Kevin sits in the radiology room, hands trembling, waiting. Machines hum quietly around him. The air feels heavy, sacred, like the edge of revelation. Behind closed doors, doctors study his scans. Their faces freeze, eyes wide, voices whispering. "What are we seeing?" one asks. "It's something medicine can't explain." On the glowing screen, the space where the tumor once was is now completely clear. Light where darkness used to live. The doctor points at the screen. "It's gone," he says quietly. Radiotherapy worked completely. Kevin can only stare, breathless. In another view, deep inside the body, dark cells dissolve into golden light. The disease collapses into nothing, as if heaven itself spoke one word: healed. Doctors and nurses gather, astonished. "This is remarkable," one murmurs. The sterile room feels different now, filled with awe, not fear. Kevin rises slowly, tears streaming, hands lifted high. "Thank you, Jesus," he whispers. The room glows with living light. At home, his family clings to him. Tears, laughter, and prayer mix together. Their home, once silent, now sings with joy. Two symbols appear in his mind: a red medical cross and a wooden cross of Christ, different, but shining with the same light. Outside the hospital, morning breaks. Sunlight surrounds him like a crown. He stands strong, peaceful, alive, a living testimony. Jesus heals. Kevin's healing was never by medicine alone. It was Jesus who gave victory through the hands of doctors. Science treats, but Christ completes the miracle. God still heals the diseases doctors cannot. What he did for Kevin, he can do for you. Hope is never too late. Medicine and faith, side by side. Knowledge and grace, working together. A microscope and a Bible, both shining under the same light. Science and Christ, not in conflict, but in harmony. When human hands reach their limit, he finishes what no one else can. Across the world, hearts awaken. A mother, a child, an old soldier, all touched by the same mercy. The same promise lives for them and for you. Every burden can be laid at his feet. Every fear can be surrendered. When you kneel before the cross, he lifts what no medicine can carry. The road ahead glows with light. Each step forward, a testimony of faith. With him, nothing is impossible, only hope that keeps walking. Lift your eyes to the horizon. Let the light of Christ fill your heart. Subscribe to the power of Jesus and share this message of healing and hope.
With Jesus, nothing is impossible. Subscribe to the power of Jesus and share this message of hope.